Subject Social Studies. Class 6. Lesson Plan, Civics. Lesson 3 What is government? Q1. How many levels of government are there in our country? Ans. The government works at 3 different levels. Q2. What was Gandhiji's demand? Ans. Gandhiji demanded that all adults should have the right to vote. Q3. What happens if someone commits a crime? Ans. If there is a dispute or if someone has committed a crime, we find people in a court. Q4. What is universal adult franchise? Ans. Universal adult franchise means that all adults in the country are allowed to vote. Q5. What are the different levels of government? Ans. The government works at different levels, at the local level, at the level of the state and at the national level. Q6. What was the unfair practice according to Gandhiji? Ans. In India, before independence, only a small minority was allowed to vote. This was the unfair practice according to Gandhiji. Q7. According to Gandhiji's Young India, who should be given the right to vote? Ans. According to Gandhiji's Young India, all adults should be given the right to vote. Q8. Which type of government would you prefer to have in the place you live in? Why? Ans. We would prefer to have a democratic government because it is a government by the people, for the people and of the people. Q9. Why government needs to control resources and protect the territory of a country? Ans. Government needs to control resources and protect the territory of a country so that people can feel secure. Q10. When can a person approach the court? Ans. If a person feels that a particular law is not being followed, for example, that they were not hired for a job because of their religion or caste, he or she may approach the court and claim that the law is not being followed. Q11. What do you mean by representative democracy? Ans. In representative democracy, people do not participate directly but, instead, choose their representatives through an election process. These representatives meet and make decisions for the entire population. Q12. Why do you think the government needs to make rules for everyone in the form of laws? Ans. The government needs to make rules for everyone in the form of laws to maintain peace and order in the society. With help of laws, government establishes equality and justice in the society. Q13. Do you think it is important for people to be involved in decisions that affect them? Give 2 reasons for your answer. Ans. Yes, it is important for people to be involved in decisions that affect them because people understand their issues in better way and can suggest better solutions to solve those issues. Q14. There was a time when governments did not allow women and the poor to participate in elections. Comment. Ans. In their earliest forms, governments allowed only men who owned property and were educated to vote. This meant that women, the poor, the propertyless and the uneducated were not allowed to vote. The country was governed by the rules and regulations that these few men made. Q15. Government is responsible for so many different things. How it manages to do all this? Ans. The government works at different levels, at the local level, at the level of the state and at the national level. The local level means in the village, town or locality. The state level would cover an entire state like Haryana or Assam, and the national level relates to the entire country. Q16. What was the suffrage movement? What did it accomplish? Ans. All over Europe and USA, women and the poor have had to fight for participation in government. Women's struggle to vote got strengthened during the First World War. This movement is called the women's suffrage movement, as the term suffrage usually means right to vote. American women got the right to vote in 1920, while women in the UK got to vote on the same terms as men some years later, in 1928. Q17. What are the functions of government? Ans. Functions of government. I. It takes decisions about where to build roads and schools, or how to reduce the price of onions when they get too expensive, or ways to increase the supply of electricity. 2. It also takes action on many social issues. 3. It runs postal and railway services. 4. It protects the boundaries of the country and maintains peaceful relations with other countries. It ensures that all its citizens have enough to eat and have good health facilities. 6. It provides aid and assistance for the affected people in case of natural disasters like the tsunami or an earthquake. Q18. What do you understand by the word government? Ans. The word government refers to a governing body that makes decisions and gets things done for the welfare of its citizens. Q19. Differentiate between democracy and monarchy forms of government. Ans. Difference between democracy and monarchy forms of government. Democracy. Monarchy. 1. In a democracy, it is the people who give the government this power. They do this through elections in which they vote for particular persons and elect them. 1. The monarch, king or queen, has the power to make decisions and run the government. The monarch may have a small group of people to discuss matters with, but the final decision-making power remains with the monarch. 2. In a democracy, the government has to explain its actions and defend its decisions to the people. 2. In monarchy, kings and queens do not have to explain their actions or defend the decisions they take. 3. It is elected by the people. 3. The crown is passed from one generation to another. 4. People are considered equal. 4. People are not considered equal.